Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Corin, also known as the Kitten Choreographer, and I am a teen with a passion for animal rescue and, in particular, kitten rescue. But there are several other things I also have a passion for. I also have a passion for talking about LGBTQ+ rights and mental health advocacy. And today we are talking about mental health advocacy. This video is a little bit different than my general content. We are going back to makeup for a bit. I haven't done a makeup video in a bit. That's just not what I've been in the mood for, and today is definitely not traditional in the sense of I will be reviewing anything. I'm not doing that. But I did want to hop back to makeup for a video because of an amazing idea that I saw someone do. So before we get started, you saw the title of the video. You know that in this video I'm going to be basically painting what I feel on my face. I have been diagnosed with several mental illnesses, one of those being generalized anxiety and major depressive disorder. Are those two disorders? Actually, I'm not sure. Well, I'm diagnosed with that. And I also have like a soft diagnosis of bipolar unspecified. That's what my psychiatrist thinks I have, and what I also think I have, but it's kind of just like hard to diagnose in teens. So we're just waiting out to see as I get older if like I truly do have it. And in this video I actually will be focusing mostly on the anxiety and depression just because that's what I'm more familiar with and like understanding myself and understanding what I feel like in those aspects. But before I blabber on any further about myself, I need to give credit where credit is due. So I did not come up with this idea. Let me find the Instagram account real quick. So Sincerely Autoimmune on Instagram, I will pop her handle up, like picture, and I will also link her Instagram down below. I actually very recently found her because someone I follow shared her most recent post, which I don't know if you can really see here, but she basically painted on her face and did her makeup based on what she feels every day. She has an invisible illness and she feels very sick every day by the sound of it. And she just drew on her face, did her makeup on like what she feels inside. So if her symptoms were visible, this is what they would look like. And I thought that was a very cool idea. She actually did give me permission to do my makeup based on the inspiration of just this idea. Like I'm going to be doing mine totally differently to hers just because my symptoms are different, because I don't have like a super bad chronic illness that gives me pain or sickness like physically. Mine is all mental mostly, and I do have some physical symptoms based off of my mental illness, but they're like related to my mental illness, so I'm not going to be doing any of that today. But I thought this idea was incredible. I saw this and I was like, wow, that's so cool. I'm sorry that she feels like this, but this idea is incredible. So she actually did this, and there was someone else that recreated it too that I also saw. This is Chronically Kitten. I'll go ahead and link her Instagram in the description below, but she also did it. I'll pop a photo of hers up, and I do really like hers as well, just as a piece of art. So I think this is such a great way to, spread awareness about invisible illnesses and mental illnesses, because so much of the time it goes completely untreated because no one can see it. People don't believe that you're feeling it, which is awful. And they just, they don't understand. They don't understand because they can't see it. If you see someone in a wheelchair, they can't move their legs. It's pretty obvious they can't walk. But when it comes to invisible illnesses and mental illnesses, it's totally different because you're the only one that truly knows you're feeling it. My regular background, kittens, they're allowed. I foster kittens if you're new here, and that is what most of my content is about, but I am branching out. And I mentioned a little bit that I am mostly talking about the anxiety and depressive aspect because I couldn't find a way to cohesively combine the bipolar and anxiety and depressive aspect together without making it super jumbled and weird. I haven't done this look yet, but I have in my mind what I'm gonna do. And so maybe I'll do the more bipolar aspect later, but right now I'm content to kind of do the anxiety and depression. So I put a table up. So that's how you know I tried to set up for this video. So I have kind of a vague idea of what I'm gonna do, but I'm just gonna kind of do it and go for it. Improvise as we go if need be. So yes, and I don't have a direct plan for what I'm gonna talk about in this video other than as I put something on my face, I'm gonna explain why. I'm gonna start with my eyes, but I'm going to go ahead and prime with the Milk Hydro Grip just to give that time to kind of sink into my face. I don't know why I'm really priming because I'm probably not gonna have this makeup on that long after I stop filming and take pictures, but you know, whatever, it's fine. So the first thing I'm going to do is take this Believe Beauty foundation. It is probably the most full coverage foundation that I have. So that is what we're gonna do. And I just forgot something. I said I forgot something, but I actually had another little idea, so I'll mention that in a second. But I don't normally wear full coverage products, so this is like the only really like kind of full coverage product that I have, but I definitely wanted to use something full coverage for this. So I'm just gonna take a couple pumps of this and start dotting it on my face. And basically the reason I'm using full coverage today is because the way mental illness works is when someone, you know, has a mental illness, they're not going around like able to use excuses about their mental illness as much. Like, even if your mental illness, you know, like anxiety, is preventing you from doing something, the world doesn't really always accept that as an excuse. You know, if you go to school or work, your school or work is not going to accept the excuse of, oh, my anxiety is really bad today, a lot of the time, even though it is. And that's like a really big deal and something that should be taken seriously. It's not. Excuse that it's a little light for me. I got a bit of a tan this summer, but it's fine. I kind of want to look a little bit gauntly and pale in this. You know, I'm already pale, but a little more pale than normal for this like look thing. But you know, they're gonna be like, oh, you know, it's not a big deal, you're making it up, you need to push through it. I cannot tell you the amount of times that like people have told me that, and like told me that everyone has it and that you just need to push through and that it's not that bad and I have it too and I can do this and you should be able to as well. And yes, I have had schools kind of try and help me, but not really. Like, my psychiatrist had to push for them to help me, and in the end they couldn't help me enough and I had to become homeschooled because of anxiety. But the reason I'm doing this full coverage is almost to symbolize like a mask that I'm putting on. You know, I'm not showing my natural self when I'm out in public. I just can't have an open panic attack, you know, in the mall if I'm feeling stressed, because like that's not considered normal. And you know, I don't like that. You know, like if someone that had a peanut allergy, for example, accidentally consumed peanuts, and then like people would be rushing to help them if, you know, they needed an EpiPen or to go to the hospital or something. And I know like a panic attack is not on the sense of like I'm actually going to die if I'm having one, but it feels like it, you know? I feel like a lot of people don't realize just how serious a lot of this stuff is for us. You know, when I'm having a panic attack, I can feel like I'm dying. And so the full coverage I decided to do basically just to symbolize that, and is basically just to symbolize the mask that I kind of put on in public and in, you know, school places and workplaces, because mental health is not an excuse, unfortunately. It is not considered an excuse by a lot of people, so I'm putting this on to kind of show that. And surprisingly, this is not as full coverage as I remembered. It definitely is pretty medium coverage. I guess when I just tried to wear it for day to day, it seemed very full coverage in contrast to the like light coverage I'm used to, but I'm just gonna dot on a little bit more of this because I definitely want to symbolize that like mask. And also, you know, with my anxiety comes, you know, a perfectionist standpoint. You know, I want to excel in the things that I do. I'm not okay a lot of the time with not being good at things. I want to be good at things, and my anxiety does not help that want. It hurts it because I really beat myself up if I'm not perfect. So just the full coverage can also symbolize like the perfection I'm trying to have. Okay, I look very pale just in this camera, but I don't look too bad in the like bigger thing. I'm just gonna little bit on the neck just to like, yeah, this is more, I went to the beach a few weeks ago and I came back with a nice little sunburn that faded into a tan. So pop it on my ears. We got this. Okay, so full coverage to symbolize the mask that I wear in public or with people I'm not comfortable with, and also to symbolize my need for perfection, which I am constantly working on. I'm also wanting full coverage for the concealer. Wait, why did I start with my base? I said I was just gonna do primer and then go into eyes, didn't I? And I didn't do that. Okay. I guess it works. It works because I wanted to do more with the lower lash line than the actual lids, so yeah, I guess it works. But we're gonna go ahead and do my lid now. You know, sometimes you just get carried away. This is the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion. I would use something more full coverage for an eyeshadow primer if I had it, but the only eyeshadow primers I have are pretty sheer, and I don't really like using concealer as a base, just for personal preference. What I'm kind of thinking for the eyes is something very dead looking, you know, something very tired looking, not something pretty really. So I'm thinking of like more like black and gray for the actual like lid eyeshadow, and then definitely like highlighting eye bags for under my eyes, yes. So I'm gonna go into, this is the Beauty Bay Bright Matte palette. I am too lazy to hold it up, but I'm just gonna start kind of putting some black eyeshadow pretty gently because I don't want it, well, one, I have foundation on, so I don't want to get a ton of fallout, but two, I also just want to be a little more precise. Like, I want it to be messy, so you wouldn't think that I'd want to be precise, but I kind of do. If I was doing a really intricate eye look, I would like zoom in a bit more, but I'm not, so I'm just gonna leave it there. Okay, I just got higher than I intended. That's fine. We're gonna work with that. So I'm kind of just gonna do this like sloppiness on both eyes, and then we'll get to actually blending. I'm not like going for raccoon vibes, but am I gonna be mad if that's what we get? Not too mad, because it's not like a normal everyday eye look. It is art, essentially. It is doing something to make a point, you know, to spread awareness. So it doesn't have to be pretty. The goal is not to be pretty, so I can toss that out of my head. Okay, now I'm going to take like a fluffier brush, and I'm gonna just, this is pretty clean. It might have like a little bit of gray on it because I was testing on my hand what I was gonna think the look would look like, so it might have a little bit of gray, but I'm just gonna start kind of blending. And again, like, it's okay if it's not like perfect here. I don't want it to be perfect, so I'm just gonna blend like as much as I can without adding any more product, and then I might add some gray to it. So yeah, this is looking very raccoony. So this is like the cloud of patchy darkness that we have going on, and I'm gonna go into a little bit of like gray and just kind of like diffuse this a bit. Like, I don't want it to look pretty. It's not supposed to be pretty, but I do want it to be slightly more diffused. And you can see this like shape. I normally wouldn't go farther out than this for the shape of my eyeshadows, but this is not normally. So I might go farther out in just a minute. Or I might wait until I've done a little bit more. Who knows? You know, this is just a nice winging it thing. I don't know, I'm in a weird mood today. You know, I have a lot of educational videos. I teach a lot. You know, today's not one of those videos. Today's just like a chill video while also spreading awareness for things. Because mental health is a real thing. It's not made up, and you're not stupid for having mental health issues. You know, a lot of people have it. And you know, some people might use the excuse of like people didn't have it in the past. Like, yeah, they did. They just either didn't tell anyone about it because they knew that they would be locked up, or they did tell people about it and they were shipped off to an asylum and never seen again. So yeah, now people talk about it because we have medicine, and you know, a decent amount of people care and are starting to help people get treatments and stuff. So yeah, definitely real. So it turns out I was using my memory card that was almost full and not the memory card that I just cleared out. So where was I? I had to switch the memory card I intended to start filming with. Where was I? Mental health is real. Mental health is important. People with mental health issues and problems, and not issues, but like people with mental health challenges need to be taken seriously. And I hate that in today's society, some people still don't realize that. And the thing is, some people even think they're supportive and they're not. You know, I've had people tell me like, I get it, I have anxiety too. You know, I get that whole thing. I'm willing, I want to support you. Just taking like a really deep gray and using that to blend a bit too. And you know, I'm here to support you, I get it, I also have anxiety. And then be like, but it's not that hard. You can push through it. You don't need medicine. You don't need time off to take care of yourself. You just need, you know, you just need to push through it. Then you obviously don't have anxiety as bad as I do, because anxiety sucks. It's really hard. It's like really hard. So yeah, you can't just push through it. You know, some people that have mild anxiety might be able to, but people like me, push through it? No, that's not how that works. Not how it works. Yeah, so I look like, you know, I've got some nice black eyes going on. It works. It works. We're gonna carry it under the lower lash line too in a minute. So I'm just gonna leave this kind of where it is for a second. I'm gonna pause with the eyeshadow and now I'm gonna go to concealer. So I brought over a white concealer and you might be thinking like, why are you bringing a white concealer? You may be pale, but you're not lamp pale. Well, I said that I wanted to really do like a gaunt type of thing, and I do. So that's why I'm using white. I also have like a skin color, so I brought that over too. You also might be thinking, I said I wanted to accentuate my dark circles, so why am I covering them up? Well, the reason for that is I'm gonna make better dark circles. I really don't have reasoning. I guess I want the mask effect to be fully in effect before I like take it away. So base will be a mask before I accentuate my dark circles. So yes, I don't know where I got the idea to be so like gaunt-like in this, like with the pale skin and everything. I don't know, maybe it's because like I'm like a vampire and I don't like the sun. Well, I do like the sun, but I'm scared to go in the sun because there are often people at the places where I'm gonna go and I have social anxiety. That's just where I'm at. So I'm just gonna do this and I'm gonna go ahead and start explaining why I want to do the dark circles. And the reason I want to do the dark circles is not because I don't sleep. One of the main ways my depression manifests itself is in me sleeping way more than normal people should. If you see a ton of concealer on this, it's because I just took out the stopper because I'm almost out. So I know a lot of people with anxiety cannot sleep because of their anxiety, but the way my depression manifests itself is by sleeping way too much. So when my depression is at my worst, I spend like all day in bed and I can do nothing but sleep. And yet, no matter how much I sleep, I am still so exhausted and I still can do nothing. Wow, I just stabbed myself in the eye and got concealer everywhere. I've got concealer. Now I need to set it. I don't have a good heavy duty setting powder on me right now that's not too dark for me. So I'm just gonna use my like everyday one, which is the e.l.f. Halo Glow setting powder. It's a really nice setting powder and it's definitely not mattifying, but I'm just gonna do my best here. So I'm going to take a powder brush and just like pop this under my eyes. I definitely want to be pretty set for this look. I want to be pretty matte. We're going like full coverage, full everything. I don't know what I was saying. What was I saying? I don't know. But yes, basically no matter how much I sleep when I'm in my really lows or depressive episodes I'm still like exhausted. I will get out of bed, sometimes never. Most of the time, if I'm in a depressive episode, like I still have things I absolutely have to do. So I will like get out of bed to feed my animals and then I will get back in bed and get out of bed to feed them and get back in bed. You know, it just repeats the cycle. You see, I look fake. That's why I don't do full coverage a lot. I don't like it now, you know, but it's for the art. I would not, you know, I was about to say I would not wear this out, but honestly, like what's stopping me from, oh, you see, this is, it helped glow. And I'm packing on a lot. I did not realize it was that glowy. I've only used this like 2 days so far. I just got it. You know, the other setting powder I had before this would have been a lot better actually for this type of thing, but I used it up. So I'm working with what I've got right now. I have a little bit of like more matte eyeshadow that I might use. I don't know. Not worrying about it too much, but I was about to say like I would not wear this out, but you know, my anxiety says no, but you know, the weird teenager in me says that would be fun. That would be fun to just scare all the people at, I don't know, Starbucks, Target and Starbucks people would probably not be as freaked out as if I went to like the gas station or what's a conservative place in my town? Arby's. Chick-fil-A. Yeah. I feel like they'd just kick me out if I wore what I'm about to do at a Chick-fil-A. I don't eat at Chick-fil-A, by the way. One, because I'm vegetarian and they only serve chicken. And two, homophobia. You know, homophobia is not my friend. Okay, I'm still glowy. That's not exactly my intention. I have like a little tiny bit of powder left in this KVD thing, so yeah, that didn't do much because there's hardly any powder left. The powder I was referring to that was too dark is this Flower Beauty powder. It's in the shade Porcelain and it's too dark for me, so yeah. I'm just gonna use a little bit of this. Yeah, that's better. Like, I know it's a little bit too dark for what I'm going for here, but I need to be matte. I care more about the matteness than the complete gauntliness. So I'm gonna get a bigger brush too. Big brush. I normally don't set my entire face, so this is weird. What was I talking about? I was talking about like actual important stuff, and then I talked about like wearing this to Chick-fil-A. So let's move on to something that's kind of important. I don't know, maybe let's do that, or who knows with me, honestly, there's no telling. But I am gonna go into contour. Gotta keep this moving so I don't keep you here for 2 hours. So KVD Beauty Shade and Light. It's squeaky. I've had this for so long. I'm gonna mix the first 2 shades and kind of just start the contour. I used to contour every day without fail. You know, it just goes in like waves of like what you feel like doing with your makeup. So anyway, why am I contouring? I need to be explaining what I'm doing. I don't know, for the matte thing, why I want it to be matte. I don't know, glowy skin, it just symbolizes happiness in my mind. Not that matte skin symbolizes sadness. I don't know. That one doesn't have a clear explanation actually. But let's go for the contour. For the contour, okay, how do I explain this? Like I have in my mind why it's necessary, but the words are hard to form. So essentially, I want it to look more like structured. And I have an explanation for that in my brain. Okay, I thought of like a kind of way to explain it. For me, super big structure indicates the need for perfection. You know, now I really enjoy doing my makeup. I have fun. If I don't want to do it that day, I don't. Like, I'm happy to go out somewhere with no makeup or with just a little makeup. But there was a time in my life that that was not a thing. Particularly in middle school, I got bullied for wearing makeup, but I could not wear it. I got bullied pretty bad. People would like tell me I was stupid. Why do I need so much makeup? What am I trying to hide? It looks ugly. You know, I heard everything, particularly from guys who have no business telling me what to do. And yes, I did enjoy putting it on, but I also had this need to put it on. It was something I was good at. In 7th grade, I was pretty good at makeup, especially for my age, and that was something I knew I was good at. And so I just felt the need to wear it every day as just, I don't know, symbolization that I was good at something, because I didn't really feel good at anything, and I know I was good at that. And also I was just so insecure about my appearance, and like when I wore makeup I kind of looked more decent in my mind. So yeah, I was so insecure about myself that I had to wear makeup every day, and one of the things I used to do was structure my face so much. You can see this humongous dip in these contours, you know, and you can see this is practically gone, the setting shade. And I don't remember when I got this. I can only assume it was about that time. I've had this for a really long time and I wear this every day. Well, the structure was a way to make me hate my face less. And so I structured. And now, like, when I do contour, I do it much lighter than I used to, but I did it super heavy today like I used to. The structure is to symbolize the perfection or the want for perfection in my face. I thought I looked decent with makeup, so I always wore it and I would not leave the house without it. And now, of course, I wear makeup just for fun. I like myself with or without makeup. So yeah, that's that. I'm going to probably move to the lower lash line now. I'm not doing blush. That kills me to say. I love blush, one of my favorite steps in the makeup routine, but I don't think it fits with this look. So I'm going to start doing some black on my lower lash line, and I'm gonna be pretty smoky with this. I definitely don't want to be precise at all. Just gonna smoke this kind of out, connect it to the blend up there. Yeah, the raccoon eyes are going to be my vibe, I think. And then I am going to take the brush. I had the light gray on and I'm not going to add any more product. I'm just going to like smoke this out a bit. Just thought of something else I'm gonna do. I'm going to focus more on the accentuated under eyes. I'm probably gonna start with a little pencil brush like this, and I'm just gonna start with the light gray just to kind of draw a shape. I'm just gonna start kind of following the shape of like my natural under eye and really just accentuate it. And like, yes, my under eye is kind of covered up, but I also like know where it is and can still like see the lines. So I think I've got that gray. I'm gonna take this brush and I'm gonna add a bit of a darker gray. Just like gently sweeping that, not as far out as the lighter gray. Other side too, and I'm like lying the brush again. Did I mention why? Yes, I did mention why I want to accentuate the under eyes, because of my perpetual tiredness when I am in a depressive episode. I also will get some night terrors when my anxiety and depression are bad. That's not too frequent, but it does happen. It doesn't keep me from falling asleep or anything, it just sucks. It basically adds to my sleep not feeling restful because I've been moving around during the terrors. I'm just gonna go back into the little pencil brush and add a bit more of the gray a bit farther out to kind of like blend it a bit. Okay, that's looking kind of decent. I do want to add a little bit of black, so I'm gonna take some black, but I'm definitely gonna like kind of tap it off a bit and then kind of add that. Okay, just like kind of lightly adding that for the millionth time, not trying to be pretty here. Oh, that was a little too dark. It's fine, I'll fix it in a second. So I just got it on my nose. How did that happen? Well, I obviously brushed it, but I'm gonna take the original brush with light gray and kind of just blend to get rid of that like splotch there. Can actually like bring this up into the inner corner a little bit too to like line it. I don't know. I'm going to grab a clean brush and just go into like a kind of skin tone shade for me and like kind of outline the area where I kind of want it to end, just to like make it a little cleaner. Of course I don't want it like clean, but I want it kind of, I don't want to get it too far in an area that I don't want the dark circles to be. And now I'm just like going back and forth until I like it, and then we're gonna add the last color, which I don't want to keep you in the dark. It's gonna be like a burgundy. I'm gonna dip into a different palette. For the burgundy, I'm gonna go into my Club Nebula, which is no longer available, but just a deep red. I guess it's not really a burgundy. Dark red, deep red, whatever. That's gonna be it. The brush I used with the like dark gray, I'm gonna go ahead and use the other side of it and pop into the dark red and just like pop that kind of closer to the actual like inner portion of the dark circle. And one thing I guess the red can symbolize too is like the bloodshot eyes after you've been crying, or after I've been crying, because I cry a lot when my mental health is bad. And also sometimes, you know, I just feel like I've been punched, and so that can be symbolized too. Okay, I'm just gonna put that like on the inner part, kind of also like drag it on my lower lash line a bit, because I am gonna be adding a red in my waterline, a red eyeliner, so I kind of want to like tie that in so it doesn't look completely out of place. Oh, you know, this is why I can't stop being precise, because I do stuff like that. I'm gonna fix it though. Take the brush with the light gray, and that's pretty much fixed. There we go. It definitely looks pretty decent for what I'm wanting. So I'm gonna go into this red lip pencil that I use as eyeliner most of the time. This is the shade Outlaw by KVD, and I'm just gonna plop this. I would have liked it to be a darker maroon, but I don't have that, so we're gonna use this. That looks nice. Makes me look nice and bloodshot. So here we go. I think, do I want to go ahead? I'm probably gonna add like mascara and lashes last, just because I don't feel like it yet. I'm going to go ahead and do my brows though, so I have kind of like that outline to work around for when we really get to the particular artsy thing that I have in mind. I'm gonna do my brows off camera real quick because it's not that exciting. I'm just gonna fill them in slightly darker than I usually do. Okay, back with the brows like filled in pretty thickly, thicker than I normally would go at least. Now, okay, my hair is in the way. I'm gonna do a nice like part here. Or do I need clips? I don't know. I'll figure it out in a bit. So what I basically want to do is a nice grayish, light gray blend of basically what I am like thinking of like a brain cloud. Like what I am considering my brain and my thoughts, but mostly by like more dark thoughts. Not dark as in like dangerous, just dark as in like sad, anxious thoughts. So I'm gonna take the gray again, and I'm kind of just gonna like start lightly blending gray on my forehead. I wanted to do black and then put white. Oh, I need to explain. I'm gonna blend the gray and then I'm gonna put black like scribbles on top of it to symbolize words and thoughts that are really overwhelming to think about. But I wanted to do that in white with black, but my white eye pencil was not strong enough to write thickly over black. I know a white cake liner would be, but I don't have one. So wait a second, I do have one. But I kind of like the idea of doing it in the gray and the black. So I'm just gonna do the gray because I don't want to get up and get the white cake liner. Okay, so I'm just gonna start, oh yeah, and I'm gonna be covering it in black liner. Those are what the words are gonna be. So I know this is kind of a lighter gray. I'm gonna start out with the lighter gray and potentially add the darker gray if I want to. And I know I'm using kind of a small brush. I don't want it to get out of hand though, so that's what I'm gonna use. Like this is a big eyeshadow brush, but it's not. It's a small brush for face. I don't know if I want it like all the way in my scalp or whatever, but I'm just gonna start kind of heavily blending this on my forehead and kind of into my temples and even on like my cheeks and stuff, just kind of like surrounding my face and my eyes and all that. This is gonna just take a minute, and I don't really have anything to say while I do this because I can't really explain the next process while I'm doing the first process because I want to see the finished step of the first process before I go in. But basically, I guess I can kind of start saying what I'm gonna think, but I want to like draw black words. I kind of like practiced on my hand a bit before I started this. I want to do like a mixture of scribbles, like cursive scribbles, but also like blocky gibberish, like in blocks. I don't want to write real words. I don't know, I thought about writing real words and I just like, it didn't feel right. So I'm gonna write just gibberish. So I'm just gonna go into like the darker gray and kind of not bring it down as far, but just kind of like blend it in some areas. I definitely don't want it to be like pretty or perfect or anything. This is symbolizing like my brain during panic mode. So I definitely want it to be like crazier and just jumbled and unorganized and stressful. And I don't want to make it too dark so that the black eyeliner won't show up on it. But I don't think we're at a point where I'm too dark yet. Well, now that we're not done with the process and I'm kind of like halfway through, I'm kind of questioning myself, but I'm not quite ready to stop yet. So yeah, I think I'm about done with this step. Now I was thinking about adding like white, just like pure white shimmer like on my cheekbones. I'm not sure if I want to do that. I might wait and see if I end up wanting to. So now for the hard part. And then the hard part is going to be drawing on my face because I'm not good at it, if you didn't know that. I have done it before and it turned out fine. Sorry, I'm grabbing stuff. I haven't done like words, and that's another reason why I decided not to do like real words, because I don't think I could accomplish that. Okay. And I'm just gonna start like scribbling on my face, I guess. I'm not gonna do real words. It's just gonna be like cursive looking scribble. Something like that, yeah. And then I'm gonna do like variations of cursive scribble to symbolize basically me being crazy. Well, not crazy, just like my thoughts being crazy and overwhelming a lot. I don't love that as much as the first one, but it looks okay. I don't know how far I want to bring down the words, so I think I'm gonna start just like my cheeks and forehead and then see if I want to bring them down more. Something like that. Hi, Brody. Hi. He's like, I want to be on camera. And I'm like, you are a cute boy, but this video is not about cats. And other just like, okay, can I just move you over here? You're great, but I will pay you later. Okay, so I have like 4 little doodles on my face and I don't want to overwhelm it, and I also want to do the like blocky stuff too, but my pencil is getting a bit dull. I know that was in focus, I don't care, so I brought over a pencil sharpener because I anticipated that, you know, I was smart for once. I think I'm just gonna draw like random, and these are literally just like, sometimes I think in really random stuff that doesn't make sense. So I'm doing the kind of combination of blocks and like weird shapes and like fake words just to kind of symbolize the complete and utter madness that is my head when I'm in panic mode or when like my brain just doesn't always make sense. What are other shapes besides squares? I guess I could do like a triangle. Bad triangle, but a triangle. Now I feel like I need to do like another triangle to like make sense. Okay. I feel like I need to do more geometric shapes than that, so. And these are not supposed to be words or anything, they're just like connections of things to just symbolize my odd thoughts. Like in a perfect world, I'd write words, but it's not a perfect world, so I'm doing what I want and what I can, essentially. I kind of want one thing spanning like here. I am totally winging it here, just so you know. My brain makes no sense. And I guess I'm not even trying to symbolize words anymore. I'm just doing like scribbles and stuff because I like that plan. I definitely want to do a wing of sorts on my eyes because wings are a nice thing. So I'm just gonna do like a big wing on my eyes. This is like a lot bigger than I would normally do, by the way. And the wing, does it symbolize any mental illness? No, I just like wings and I feel more comfortable in them, so that's what we're gonna do. Okay, I just got an idea for a new little bit and I want to do like little tiny like balls or like clouds of like intense thought. I don't know how it'll turn out, but I kind of want to do that. So I'm gonna take this brush here and put some black on it. And I'm just gonna like kind of like a circle like that, but then like make it blacker in the center almost. Like that. Just kind of do that all over. Not all over, but like in several spots. And this, I don't really know how to explain it. This is just to symbolize when I'm in panic mode or when I'm just having like a really bad bout of, you know, depression and anxiety. My brain really goes anywhere and everywhere. And sometimes, like, I just have, like, random sentences and so many trains of thought at once. That's what I'm trying to symbolize. Words. They finally worked for me. I'm trying to symbolize my different trains of thoughts. I'll have one train of thought that is spewing different words at me, you know, telling me how awful I am, telling me how the world's gonna end, you know, yada, yada, yada. And then I'll have, like, other trains of thoughts that are totally non-coherent, and it's just, like, noise in my head that is just like filling up my brain and driving everything insane. So we got like all the noise, all the, you know, words, and also sometimes like physical symptoms too. So like the world's spinning, the world's this and this, and then I'll have other trains of thought, more words, more like different types of trains of thoughts, and everything will be going at once, and it feels like the world is a disaster and the world is ending. And I guess I'm just trying to symbolize the craziness of all of that just with random scribbles and dots on my face. So I don't know how to describe it other than that. One thing I definitely want to do is the second person that did something like this for their invisible illness, they kind of like drew a smile on themselves. I want to draw a frown. So the frown came from their kind of idea. So I'm going to do this kind of, I probably want to shape it out with like eyeshadow. So I'm just going to take like some gray and just, that kind of works. We're just going to go with that. And now I'm going to take the liquid liner and just, so something kind of like that. And once that dries, well, I can do it now. I'm just going to smudge. I'm just like smudge that out. And I know liquid liner doesn't really smudge out. I'm just kind of like extending it. I'm gonna take some pencil too and just like put this here in this smudge. I will tell you what I'm doing for my lips and shortly, I guess, whenever I'm done with this. Now I'm just gonna start on the lips. What I wanted to do was the red, kind of like a similar color to this, but like a deep burgundy, and kind of just like smudge that on the inside and then use a little bit of black to fade it out. So I'm going to use a lip brush because I don't want to make it too bright. This is the Tiana lipstick from the original Disney and ColourPop collection. It's not available anymore, I don't think, but it's just like a really deep red. So I'm just going to start smudging this on the inner portion, not the outer portion. My top lip is kind of small though, so it will have to go kind of up a bit. So I guess my top lip ended up being filled in a good portion. So kind of like this, and then I do want the black. I don't have a black lipstick. I want one, but I don't have one yet. So I'm gonna use a bit of eyeliner, just kind of like, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it, so you're just gonna have to watch and figure it out. Okay, I'm not done yet, but I went and grabbed my really old pot black liner because I realized that would be a lot easier than trying to grab liner from a pencil. Okay, so basically what I've done so far, I don't know, I just didn't talk through that. I just had to like figure it out on my own. So basically what I've done so far is I smudged the red kind of in the center portion of my lips, and then I outlined it with black. And, you know, I drew the thingies, and now I know it doesn't look good. The point is for it to not look good. So yes, it looks really tragic. Kind of what I'm going for there. So I'm gonna take some black and gray and just kind of like smudge around it because I really want it to still look really just like wrong. So I'm gonna smudge. So I think here I'm at a point where I like it pretty decently. The only thing I'm iffy about is like the lips, and I'm like, I don't want to look too clowny, but this is definitely turned very clown-esque. But if it is going to be clowny, I want to reiterate, it's a tragic clown look. I'm not happy, because that's not the point of this. So now I'm going to start with mascara, and then I'm going to add some lashes. I'm not good at lashes, so this may take a bit of time. I will be back. Let's please have a round of applause for me as I got both of these lashes on the first try. That has never happened to me before. I may be good at makeup, but I'm not good at lashes. As I was doing these lashes, I was thinking this look is definitely not as literal as the other two people that have done it so far. Their looks were great. They were beautiful. They were so artistic. And they were definitely pretty literal. They were like, oh yes, I have these symptoms. This is what it would look like if I feel them. And I'm like, my symptoms are in my brain. This is what it might look like. It's definitely not literal. I'm not literal in any sense ever. So yes, this is what we're working with. I'm thinking I might want to add a few finishing details. Let's see. The only thing I'm thinking I might want to do is add like a bright red on my inner corner. Or not like a bright red, but like a red. So yes, I'm just gonna do like a little thing. This is the look. I ended up adding lashes just because it makes it more artistic. I think it accentuates my lashes. I don't know, they weren't necessary, but I did them because I do need excuses to practice putting them on, because I do want to be able to put them on easily, even if I don't wear them all the time. So yes, you can see the scribbles that represent words, a train of thoughts in my brain, the squares and geometric shapes that represent another train of thoughts in my brain, and the little circle things to represent just the darkness of anxiety and depression in my brain. So yes, this is the finished look. Yes, I do think it is so important to talk about mental health. Gotta zoom out, you know, be professional for the outro. I do think, you know, it is kind of hard to take me seriously with this, but let's just try. It is so hard to talk about mental health, I think, because there's still such a stigma around it, but it is so important too, because, you know, we just need to bring awareness to it. And with mental health, it is so real. It is so important to talk about so that people can get proper help for their mental illnesses. And it's another thing, it's invisible. So to bring awareness to it, it's sometimes easier to just draw it on your face, kind of what it feels like in a way. It's definitely not the perfect depiction. Of course, this is not my brain, you cannot see into it, but I do think it was a good symbolization of kind of what I feel. So yes, tell me if you liked this type of content. I know it's not normally what I talk about, but it is something I'm pretty passionate about talking about, so let me know if you would like to watch more of this. Again, please go follow, gotta double check that I'm getting her account right. Okay, Sincerely Autoimmune. Go follow her. You know, her idea was so spectacular, and it is so hard that any of us have to deal with mental illnesses and invisible chronic illnesses, but we do. And so I think it's important to bring awareness to it. So yes, go follow her. I hope you liked this. Thank you so much for watching. If you did like this video, make sure to like it and subscribe for more mostly kitten related content, but an occasional video like this. I upload on Sundays and on Wednesdays if I can, and if I can't because of mental health, then I upload whenever I want to. Also, please make sure to leave any thoughts or questions that you have down in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching again, and goodbye!